Hello, my name is William Scales, and I'm making this video for the Culture Ethnicity video and peer review. This was a pretty interesting project assignment for me. I actually got to learn a lot about my culture and a little history with family members, particularly my great grandparents. I was blessed to have my great grandparents alive and for to my 30s. They passed away at 101 and 103. Natural causes, married 76 years, 10 girls. So I'm talking to my grandmother about this assignment, and I got to learn a little bit about a few fun facts about my family. So one of the things is I did find out a lot about is my great grandfather, which is named Nun, N-U-N, Broadham. He's originally from New Edinburgh, Arkansas. Caucasian, college grad, very educated, and literally ran a farm and a big, gigantic farm. Just to give you guys this is my great grandfather, Caucasian man. I learned something today, actually. So, to learn a little history about him, they had acres and acres of land in New Edinburgh, Arkansas. The name of that land was called the Broadham Settlement. The Broadham Settlement was a land over about 47, 48 acres in New Edinburgh and parts of Cleveland, Arkansas. And pretty much on this farm, the Broadham Settlement, just looking at some notes, they did everything from grow cotton, pecans, all types of fruits and vegetables, anything that was needed, and it was a big aspect to the community at that time. So that was a pretty fun fact that I did learn, actually to learn that my great grandfather was Caucasian, and to know the amounts of land that I do here, here that we still own some of that property out there. Maybe once things calm down, maybe I might need to take a trip out there and see what's going on. And also, I want to introduce my great grandmother, Ida Broadham. This is her. They were married. This is his wife, and a fun fact that I did learn about my great grandmother is that her cousin or a family member is the mother to Michelle Obama. I did look some of that stuff up, and their family did originate from Arkansas. So that's a fun fact that somewhere down deep in my family line, I am related to the former First Lady of the United States of America. So I think that's absolutely amazing. As you saw in the picture, I'm going to hit a few points. One thing I did learn was with my great grandmother was their religion base. You might have saw a Bible in her hand. It kind of makes sense now because being around my great grandmother, we was constantly in church. That was one thing that we had to do. Regardless if you wanted to go or not, we had to. We were a very spiritual family. So it's good to see that there's always been a trait in my family. Also, just to know, like one of my biggest hobbies, and everybody in my family, men and women, are able to cook. During the summer, I kind of do my own called the outdoor kitchen grill. When I'm usually, I guess my specialty is meats with different blends of fruit, like pears, blackberries, and infusing them with meats and sauces just to give the meat a different flavor, or smoking with different things, almond wood, or all things. So to know that my family back then had all these acres of land and farm, it was pretty interesting because that's one of the hobbies that I've picked up on, and it looks like it picked up on all of my family. So, like I said, between that, our spiritual beliefs, even educational wise. My great grandfather was at the time was very educated man, college grad. Where the difference of my great grandmother that she wasn't. Sorry if I keep looking down. I'm just trying to make sure I get all these notes and get them all accurately and correctly. So it's crazy to know that like my family has land out there and what the land did for the community. Even for the family itself, the cotton, they made their own clothes, they cooked their own food that they grew, which is one of the most natural, healthiest things that you possibly do. But imagining this in the late 80s, early 90s, things were different. So, of course, people ate differently. And we even had things like cancer or wasn't as wild or all these other health issues that we, go through to this day. Yeah, so like, let's see. Yeah, so to see those pictures and just to see, this is my great grandmother right here. This is number 3. And these are my great grandparents. Yes, my great grandparents, married 76 years. Pastor, first lady, that's all I've known. That's all my aunts and my grandmother, that's all she knows. So I actually did like this assignment, just for the fact that I did learn a lot of facts. It's always great to learn your history, learn things about yourself and others, and why traits usually run through the generation of the family. So hopefully that I gave enough information for this. And like I said, it's just very good to know. One other fact too, I learned something while researching. So of course during that time, a white Caucasian male marrying a African American woman, especially in the 1980s or early 1900s, that had to go through a lot of issues, that especially being in the South. So one interesting fact that I did learn, and I had to research it, I'll put a screenshot of it in the post as well. I learned that at that time, I looked up my great grandfather's information, and as race, they have him labeled as Negro. And as my grandmother, I was like, but he's not a Negro. And I guess at that time when they documented you, and if, I guess the statement was, if you have dealt with an African American or a Negro at the time, or had a child by them, that they will, especially in Arkansas, that they will label you as a Negro. So that was a very interesting fact that I did learn. I want to make sure that I did not leave that out. So that's all. Hopefully, like I said, the Broughton settlement, the spirituality, the food, just the change of your race because of what you deal with. It was a lot of fun factors that I did learn. And I'm going to take this and extend this a little bit more on my own personal note and do some more research myself, because now I'm pretty interested in knowing more about this story. Other than that,